Morning, everyone. I've got three buttons here, one of which is black. I've been told not to press the black button. I think it's the ejector seat, so if I disappear up through the roof, you'll know that I've hit the wrong button. My name's Kevin Trainer, and as Ian introduced me, I'm a VP of Digital Marketing for BlackRock, and I think it's safe to say that BlackRock are laggards when it comes to social media marketing. I joined the business 12 months ago. My role was to get digital marketing and social media very much higher up the agenda. And asset management is pretty unique in that we're not a B2C proposition, we're B2B. And a lot of our customers are very slow themselves in actually adopting social media, so IFAs and wealth managers. So we're kind of on a journey with our customers. And what I'm going to do today is share some of the strategic work we have done and share with you some of the tactical exercises that we've done over the last 12 months to prove the value of social media marketing to the business. So about BlackRock, we're the world's biggest asset manager that no one's ever heard of. And that's our kind of joke in Marcoms. A hugely successful business, very kind of sales driven. But a lot of people don't actually know who we are. So a lot of customers, when I talk to people on the street about BlackRock, they think we do security in Iraq. They think we do all sorts of different things that we don't do. But again, I mean, I'm sure most of you guys in the financial services industry have heard of us, but you may not have seen a lot of the marketing that we do because it's very much B2B. As I said, a very successful business, but the success of the business and the scale of it brings particular challenges. So the asset management industry, as I said, has been very slow to adopt social media marketing itself. We're active in 13 countries across EMEA, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach to those countries. So what we're doing is we're building out a social media strategy for each part of our business that's unique to each country that we're operating in. So in Germany, for example, Zing is the leading professional services social network rather than LinkedIn. So little kind of cultural subtleties like that we're making sure we build into what we're doing on a country-by-country basis. Like you guys, we're very highly regulated. As I said, B2B, our customers are slow themselves. They don't understand social media. We're all kind of grappling with how we can use these tools to generate business for ourselves and for our clients. And scale, okay, we have got a lack of systems and processes to allow us to conduct scalable social media marketing. We have looked over the last 12 months at about half a dozen tools. We've looked at Radian 6, we've looked at Actiance, we've looked at different tools that are going to allow us to do social media marketing in a compliant way, but also to allow us to scale it up across our organization, across Europe. Lots of the other things, fear and lack of understanding in the business around social media. The compliance department, how do we control it? How do we control it? How do we control it? We can't. But how do we control it? Every time I have a meeting with them, they want to know how we can control social media marketing. And you guys are in the room today, and you know that we quite simply have to let go of that way of thinking and engage and be involved in the conversation. One of the other things that we kind of was an issue whenever I joined the business was the question about who owned social media. Was it Marcoms? Was it e-business? And this is something that we've kind of worked on over the last 12 months to kind of share ownership across different business functions, and we've built those kind of roles and responsibilities into the strategy. Historically, there has been a lack of a dedicated budget for social and digital marketing. And again, one of the key things that we're grappling with, like I'm sure a lot of you guys are, is ROI. How do we ensure integration with CRM systems? How can we prove that it's driving sales in the business? Our approach then, so I've been keen with the business, as I said, and we've run little kind of tactical executions over the last 12 months, but I've been keen for us to think strategically. We've got social media strategy documents now for each of the three parts of the business, so our retail business, our institutional business, and iShares, and we're rolling that out across Europe. So strategy has been very important to us, but we've done some tactical executions to prove the value of this type of marketing to the business and also to prove that we can do it in a compliant fashion. We've done a big piece of benchmarking, so we've looked at all of our competitors, and we've looked at what they're doing well, and we've also learned from their mistakes. And our approach, this kind of determines, and one of the things I keep saying to the business is that social media, these are just new channels. There's no silver bullet. It's not going to solve all of our problems, but it's going to allow us to engage with our clients in a new way. So we've been keen to learn the etiquette about the channels, learn technically what we need to do, but the key mantra is keep calm, get the marketing basics right, and as I said, just use these channels as new channels. This is our kind of work plan for 2012. So information gathering, audit and benchmarking, some tactical pilot executions. The listening and monitoring activity I'm going to talk a little bit more about in a moment, because I think it's the best bit of money we've spent in the last 12 months on social media. It's given us some fantastic insight. Building out our strategies, including our content strategies. So we're not just going to put these platforms up. Everything we've done and all of the tactical executions that we've done have had a really finely tuned content strategy to support them. Staff training and accreditation, which includes all of the key functions across the business. So Marcoms, corporate communications, HR, legal and compliance. So no one's going to be allowed to post anything through social media marketing, any of the kind of channels, unless they're trained up and accredited. And then in Q3 of this year, we're going to launch our channels. So BlackRock in the US is very active. We've got blogs, we've got Twitter accounts, we've got a global YouTube channel. But in EMEA, we've kind of held off, and we're going to launch all of that stuff in Q3 of this year. So we're quite behind the curve as far as kind of the rest of the financial services industry goes, but probably in not a bad place as far as asset management goes. This is a key thing as well that we're keen to do in Q3 and beyond this year. It's optimizing the channels. So once we push them live, looking at how they're driving traffic to us, making sure they're working, tweaking them if we need to, switching things off if they're not working. We have Google Plus, which is the new kid in the block. Everyone's talking about Pinterest now. We're kind of assessing, is that somewhere where we need to be? And if things aren't working for us, we need to make business decisions around whether we're going to stay there, or whether we're going to dedicate effort, time, and resource to being there if they're not producing the business results for us. And then ongoing monitoring. So the benchmarking piece that we did, or the listening piece. So again, for a couple of months last year, I spoke to lots of kind of agencies, got a couple of people in and said, look, we want to conduct a listening exercise. We want to know what people are saying about us online, because we want that to inform our social media marketing strategy. We want it to validate some of the things we think we should be doing, but we also want to see if there are any gaps in our knowledge. So we chose not to use an automated tool. We used an agency called Human Digital, who are lots of boffins who sit in a room. And the reason for that was I kind of thought that a lot of the conversations that were happening around our brand and our products were probably happening in forums which were behind a firewall, where you would have to register and log in to kind of dig down deep into those conversations. And a lot of the automated tools wouldn't give us that level of insight. So we sampled 5,000 pieces of online content from aggregator websites, from forums, from Twitter feeds, and we've identified the main insights from that are we've identified, and I've got the figures here, the top 12 blogs by impact and sentiment globally, with a combined reach of 3.2 million readers, where BlackRock products and services are being discussed and our brand is being talked about. So historically for BlackRock, we have always done press, we've done PR, we've done advertising. We've never engaged with bloggers, and that's an audience of readership of 3.2 million people who historically we've never engaged with. So one of the key things we're going to do in 2012 as part of our social media strategy is build out a digital advocacy program. So start to engage with bloggers, with guys who run Twitter accounts, and really kind of build a relationship with these guys in the same way we have a relationship with journalists. So things we assessed, sentiment, key topic analysis, and this was great as well, because when we actually dug deep down into the content, we kind of we realized that a lot of the content we're pushing out isn't the stuff that people are talking about online. So it really challenged, our kind of content strategy and the sort of output we were pushing out from a marketing and communications perspective. The findings have validated some of our thinking and have challenged us, which I think has been brilliant. And they've informed our social media strategies and have helped us build, we think, really robust KPIs about the sort of things we need to be focusing on when we push our channels live in 2012. So yeah, I like the guys at Santander. I think this is kind of typical of BlackRock. Santander's internal Social network is called The Village. BlackRock's is called The Block because we're American. But again, this is brilliant because this is, this was launched a couple of months ago in the business, and it's probably no surprise that a lot of the early adopters in the business are the guys who are involved in social media marketing. So we're sharing best practice, we're pushing up links to campaigns that you guys are doing that we really like. We're sharing best practice. You can follow people, you can be friends with people. It's absolutely fantastic. And again, I think it's a big step for BlackRock and maybe the first step towards us becoming a really social business. This is just talking about, I'm going to give you an example of 2 tactical executions that we've done over the last 12 months. And this is very different, again, just to give you an example of how things in asset management are different from the B2C marketplace. So last year, James, who's sitting in the audience, my colleague, and myself worked with the business, and they said, can you come up with something that we can do from a social network perspective for central banks training? And we kind of asked, okay, what central banks training? Well, 43 delegates from around the world, decision makers of the future, and they're 20 to 30 years of age, and we want to try and engage with them one way. We want to do something cool, and we're going to do a LinkedIn group. And we kind of thought, LinkedIn group, are they on LinkedIn? So we had the delegate list, and they weren't on LinkedIn, but we did a bit of research, and most of them were on Facebook. So there were only 43 of them coming to London, but 20 of them represented assets under management for BlackRock of $95.8 billion. Okay, so we're not talking about tens of thousands of people liking us on Facebook. We're talking about a way of engaging with these people in a much deeper way than we had been able to previously, to give them a much richer experience of BlackRock and to hopefully send them away with nice, warm thoughts and feelings about our business. So we set up a Facebook group. Compliance loved it because it was secret, which meant that it didn't show in anyone's Facebook profiles. It was very heavily moderated, so they had to sign up to terms and conditions of the group, to join it. And then we were using it in the same way you would with any kind of forum online. They were posting pictures of themselves that we brought them to see England and Wales playing at Wembley, and we brought them go-karting. They were saying hello to one another online or through the group. They were posting pictures of social activities. We were sending them links to materials, course materials before they arrived in London. And the feedback from the business was fantastic. And a lot of them actually said when they went away that they really thought it was innovative BlackRock. They never would have thought BlackRock would have done something like that. So, and again, that was one of the things that we did. And for the institutional business, which would be one of the parts of our business which would probably be more conservative in its approach to marketing, they saw the value of it and they were absolutely blown away by it, which was great. But again, one of the key things underpinning this was a full content strategy. Before we knew what we were posting on every single day before and during the event. And everyone, again, got a personal hello when they joined the group. We were really kind of interacting with them on a daily basis. And this is one of our other tactical executions, which we're about to embark on. Mallow Street, has anyone heard of Mallow Street? I think this is potentially a big trend for social media marketing in financial services. Mallow Street is a social media platform for pensions professionals, of all things. Okay, it's a closed network, 2,400, I think, members in the UK. They're looking to move into, I think, Holland or the Netherlands next, and then they're making noises about moving into Canada and the US. But again, lots of BlackRock's potential clients are on here. There's a lot of thought leadership going on here. You can blog, you can connect with people. So it's like LinkedIn for pensions professionals, and it's a closed community. But again, something that we're just about to embark on, and something that the business actually came to us. So again, this is the institutional business coming to us and say, this is a fantastic social network that we want to get involved in. So we're working with them to go live with this. So our focus for 2012, to deliver best-in-class social media marketing. As I said, BlackRock, we're quite kind of slow at getting moving on things, but when we do things, we like to do it really, really well. We want to do it in an integrated way. We want to do it in a compliant fashion. And we want to push the boundaries and challenge ourselves. I think this is just the start of social media marketing. There are all sorts of anecdotal stories about hedge funds being based on Twitter. One of the conversations we've had with the agency we've used for the insight now is that they're working with some brands, some big global brands, around actually connecting their analysis of social media into the share price of those particular companies. And that's when it becomes really, really interesting. I think when it's going to become a really easy sell into the C-suite. We can track what's happening online, what brand sentiment is, how many mentions we're getting against how our share price is performing. And I think that's really, really interesting for anyone involved in social media at any level. And one of the key things I think that we've done and we're keen to do over the next period of time for BlackRock is to make sure that social media marketing is shared. Everyone's taking ownership and responsibility for it across all functions in the business. And this is one of the things that I keep showing this slide in the business. I've shown it about 150 times in the last 12 months. This, again, lots of businesses like ourselves, the biggest challenge is, if we don't dedicate resources and budget to it, then we're potentially destined for failure. And this is just a final thought. It says, Google before you tweet is the new think before you speak. Doesn't quite make sense, but I think you get the sentiment. We are operating in a regulated industry, or regulated industries, and I think, again, it's just that whole thing about being careful, having the systems and processes in place, which hopefully should allow us all to maximize the opportunities we have through social media. That's it.